The first thing you notice isn't the market. It isn't the charts, the numbers, or the newsfeed blinking red and green across your screen. It's your body. A subtle tightness in your shoulders, the way your jaw feels like it's pressing against your skull. Your hands hover over the mouse, twitching slightly, ready to react before your mind even decides. There's a rhythm here, a rhythm you've always ignored because you've been trained to watch the market, to chase the price, to measure risk and reward. But the truth, the quiet, undeniable truth, is that the market doesn't just test your strategy, it tests your body first. Every surge of adrenaline, every flicker of fear, every surge of excitement passes through the fibers of your muscles long before it reaches your conscious thought. Feel the weight in your chest as the candle spikes. Feel your shoulders creeping upward, almost without noticing. The body speaks in microsignals, and most traders don't listen. They sit frozen, eyes glued to charts, hands trembling slightly, and wonder why they overreacted, why they clicked buy too fast or hesitated too long. Notice your hands. Are they tight? Are your fingers pressing against each other? Your muscles tense in anticipation, preparing for action that may not even be necessary. The tension is subtle at first, almost imperceptible, but as the trade progresses, it grows. Your shoulders lock, your jaw clenches, your back stiffens. It's all a conversation your body is trying to have with you, a language almost no one understands. And yet, this is where the truth of trading lives. Not in strategies, not in indicators, not in algorithms, in the raw, unfiltered awareness of your own physical responses. When you learn to observe these tiny signals, the twitch of a finger, the shift in posture, the shallow intake of breath, you begin to step outside the reflex. You begin to see yourself in the trade before the trade even happens. Here lies the first lesson. Tension is information. Fear, impatience, and anticipation all manifest in the body first. If you can notice it, if you can trace it without judgment, you gain an edge no chart can ever give you. It's not about suppressing the tension, nor pretending it isn't there. It's about recognizing it, naming it in your mind, and letting it guide you instead of control you. Sit with this awareness for a moment. Feel the connection between your body and the market. Notice how the tension changes as your eyes scan the charts. The market is alive, yes, but so are you. And the way you inhabit your body dictates how you move within it. The moment you learn to observe, not react, the tension becomes a teacher rather than an enemy. Your body, once a source of unconscious impulses, starts to reveal patterns, truths, warnings. Every clenched jaw, every tight shoulder, every twitching hand is a signal. And as you tune in, a subtle clarity begins to emerge. You start to see the body doesn't lie, the market doesn't lie. Only unobserved bodies and unobserved minds fall prey to chaos. Now, shift your attention, not to the screen, not to the numbers, to your breath. You might not have noticed it yet, but it's there, always there. The rise and fall of your chest, the subtle pull in your diaphragm, the rhythm that often mimics the market's own heartbeat. In moments of tension, it becomes shallow, quick, almost imperceptibly paused between fear and reaction. In moments of excitement, it stutters, racing to catch up with your thoughts. Breath is the body's first messenger, a mirror of what the mind refuses to admit. When you hold your breath, even unconsciously, the body is screaming, "I am tense. I am afraid. I am rushing." Traders often ignore it, chasing the chart, the news, the signals. But the truth is always here, in the inhalation and exhalation that you rarely observe. Notice how your breath changes when the market moves against you. Does it tighten? Does it pause, suspended in fear of the unknown? Or does it accelerate, carrying the thrill of potential gains too fast for your heart to manage? This is not weakness, it is information, pure, raw, unfiltered information. Sit quietly for a moment and simply observe. Do not change it. Do not control it. Do not try to breathe correctly. Just watch it. Feel the subtle tug of your diaphragm, the slight tension in your ribcage, the fluttering in your chest. The market is moving. Your mind wants to move with it, but your breath is already speaking. And here's the paradox. The moment you observe without trying to fix, something shifts. Awareness itself calms the storm, even slightly. Your breath is no longer just a reflection of fear or greed. It becomes a bridge, a connection to yourself, a channel through which clarity can flow. You begin to notice patterns, how fear slows your exhale, how excitement makes your inhale jump, how hesitation freezes the rhythm altogether. This is where conscious trading begins. Not in the mind, not in the strategy, but in the simple act of noticing. Breath is your anchor. It is the body's language, clearer than words, more honest than thought. And when you learn to listen, really listen, you find that the chaos outside begins to lose its power over the chaos within. Every trade, every flicker on the screen, every sudden spike is now filtered through your awareness. You start to see your reactions before they manifest, your impulses before they turn into decisions. The shallow inhale, the paused breath, the subtle tightening of the chest, they are all signals that whisper, slow down, observe, respond rather than react. Here lies a crucial truth. Mastery begins with noticing the simplest act. Breath, in, out. No judgment, no urgency, just observation. And from this observation, the next move begins to take shape. Not forced, not rushed, but chosen. Now shift deeper. Move beyond breath. Move beyond muscle tension. Feel your heart. It is subtle at first. A quiet beat against the chest, a faint pulse in your wrist or neck. But when the market spikes, when the candle jumps or drops, when that unexpected move arrives, suddenly it speaks louder, faster, stronger. Your heart is the body's silent alarm. It signals before the mind understands, before the strategy recalculates, before your fingers move to click a button. Each beat carries your fear, your anticipation, your excitement, your hesitation. And most traders ignore it. They pretend it's irrelevant. They chase the chart, they chase profit, they chase certainty. But the truth is written in the rhythm of your pulse. Notice how it changes. The subtle quickening as price touches your entry point. The thump against your ribs when the market moves against you. The uneven skips when greed or anxiety flickers. These are not just physical sensations. They are honest, unfiltered feedback. They tell you when you're about to act from impulse rather than clarity. Some traders call this intuition. Some call it luck. But it is neither. It is biology. A body alerting you, signaling risk and opportunity long before the conscious mind catches up. Ignoring it is choosing chaos over clarity. Listening is choosing mastery over reaction. Place a hand lightly on your chest. Feel the beat. Count it if you must. Observe how it rises, how it falls, how it sinks or clashes with the market outside. This is the first line of communication between your internal state and the external world. The faster it races, the less likely your decisions are clear. The steadier it remains, the more conscious your responses become. The heart is more than a pump. It is a barometer of your trading self. It measures tension, fear, impatience, desire, and it speaks truth. No chart, no algorithm, no strategy can outpace the honesty of your pulse. Learn to read it, not to control it, not to manipulate it, simply to observe, to recognize when it surges, when it falters, when it signals caution. And as you do, a quiet clarity emerges. Decisions no longer feel rushed, impulses no longer dominate. You begin to trade not against the market, but with yourself. Here's the hidden lesson. Every heartbeat is a message. Every pulse is a signal. Every subtle rhythm is a guide. The market may test your skill, your strategy, your nerves, but it cannot bypass the body. And when you honor that body, when you truly feel it, you gain an edge invisible to anyone else. Look at your face, not in the mirror, not on a video call, but feel it from within. The twitch of a brow, the tightening of your jaw, the faint pressing of lips together. These are small, almost invisible signals, but they are profoundly honest. Most traders hide behind a mask, stoic, composed, calm. They believe this concealment shields them from fear, from impatience, from doubt. But the face tells a story that the mind cannot hide. Micro-expressions leak the truth. A flicker of worry when a candle dips, a hint of excitement when a target approaches, a subtle clench when the mind battles uncertainty. Notice the tension in your jaw, the slight narrowing of your eyes, the way your eyebrows lift unconsciously when hope surges or furrow when doubt creeps in. These signals are not mistakes. They are messages. Every subtle twitch is your body speaking, your subconscious revealing what the conscious mind refuses to acknowledge. The genius of observation is in noticing without judgment. Do not scold yourself for tightening your lips. Do not curse the twitch of your brow. Simply see it, observe it, name it if you want. Fear, anticipation, impatience, desire. Each recognition brings a subtle freedom. Awareness transforms the micro-expression from a leak of weakness into a guide toward clarity. Imagine the trader who can feel every twitch, every tension, every hidden emotion in their face. Not to suppress it, not to control it, but to read it like a dashboard. This trader knows the market is reacting, but so am I. My internal state shapes my external choices, and my face is the first window into that state. There is a delicate power here. A power to pause, to step back, to notice the fear before it turns into an impulsive click, to sense the desire before it becomes greed-driven overtrading, to understand that even as the screen flashes, as the charts spike and dip, the first and most honest data lies in the tiny movements of your own face. Microfacial expressions are the body's truth, stripped of pretense. They are the silent signals of an emotional rhythm that few dare to observe. And when you do, you step into a level of self-awareness most traders never reach. The face becomes a compass, pointing you away from reactivity and toward deliberate action. Here is the subtle, almost hidden insight. The market tests what the mind sees, but it also tests what the body reveals. Micro-expressions are your early warning system, your private dialogue. And mastery begins the moment you learn to watch, understand, and honor it. Shift your attention now to your hands. Resting on the keyboard, hovering over the mouse, perhaps tapping lightly on the desk. At first, you might think they are passive, neutral tools, just extensions of your mind. But your hands are alive with information. They speak a language you rarely hear. Notice them. Are they tense, gripping the mouse too tightly? Do your fingers tremble ever so slightly, betraying the excitement or fear coursing through you? Do your palms feel damp or cold, or is there a subtle stiffness in your wrists? Every nuance is a reflection of your internal state. Every micro movement, a window into the emotions beneath the surface. The hands are often the first to react before thought catches up. A twitch signals impatience. A tightening grip signals fear or hesitation. Hovering too long over a key signals indecision. And yet traders rarely pay attention. They focus on charts, on numbers, on signals. But the hands have been giving the answers all along. Imagine a trader who notices their own hands, who sees the slight tightening of fingers before an impulsive click, who feels the subtle stiffness in the wrist before making a hurried entry or exit. That trader begins to interrupt the chain of reaction. Awareness of the hands becomes awareness of choice itself. The beauty of observing the hands is that it reveals both impatience and anticipation. It teaches you patience without forcing you to suppress action. It teaches you timing without relying solely on the charts. It is a mirror of the mind, a barometer of the body, a teacher disguised as a simple physical presence. Now place your hands lightly on the desk. Feel every tiny movement. Notice the tension and the release. The way the muscles contract and relax as your attention shifts between screens. The way your fingers hover when uncertainty arises. Let yourself see the story they tell, your own emotional narrative made visible. Hands are more than instruments. They are the earliest signal of instinct, impulse, and reaction. And in trading, early awareness is everything. Observe them, honor them, and let them guide your choices rather than dictate them. When the hands speak, listen closely. They will tell you more about yourself than any chart, any indicator, any strategy ever could. Now widen your focus. Move beyond individual muscles, beyond hands, beyond breath. Feel the entirety of your posture, how you sit, how you lean, how your weight distributes across your chair, across your feet, across the desk. Posture is not just physical, it is energetic. It is the flow of your internal state made visible. When you slump, it reflects resignation, frustration, or fatigue. When you lean forward, shoulders hunched, it signals anxiety, anticipation, even subtle desperation. When your body stiffens, it signals stubbornness, resistance, the silent refusal to yield to what is happening on the screen. The subtle shifts in posture, unnoticed by many, dictate clarity and decision-making. A slouched body narrows perception. Tension in the spine restricts thinking. A tight chest limits intuition. And yet, posture is entirely within your awareness, entirely within your power to notice. Observe the small changes, the tilt of your head, the angle of your shoulders, the slight curve of your back. Feel the energy moving through you as you respond to market movements. Are you collapsing inward? Are you pushing forward too aggressively? The body communicates continuously, signaling readiness or resistance, openness or contraction. Here lies a vital truth. The flow of energy in the body mirrors the flow of energy in your trading mind. Stiffness leads to rigidity in thought. Slumping leads to hesitation. Overtension leads to impulsivity. By observing, by feeling, by acknowledging posture and energy, you gain a feedback loop invisible to most traders. Now adjust nothing. Simply notice. Feel the way energy gathers, pools, or dissipates. Notice how a deepening awareness of posture alters subtle emotions, how leaning back slightly can calm a racing mind, how relaxing the shoulders can open clarity, how shifting your weight can shift your emotional state. Trading is not just a mental game. It is embodied. Every decision, every reaction, every hesitation flows through your posture, your energy, your presence. When you honor the body, when you feel the flow rather than ignore it, you begin to align yourself with the market in a way that is both instinctive and conscious. Posture becomes your silent partner. Energy becomes your internal compass. Observe them, trust them, and they will guide you through chaos, stress, and volatility far more honestly than any external signal ever could. Now, take a step back and feel your whole self. From the tension in your shoulders, to the rhythm of your breath, to the pulse in your chest, the subtle expressions on your face, the micro movements in your hands, the flow of energy through your posture, you are a living, sensing entity, not just a mind chasing charts. Integration begins with observation. The simple act of noticing without judgment. You do not suppress tension, you do not force calm, you do not command your heartbeat. You watch, you feel, you acknowledge. Each sensation becomes a signal. Each twitch, each shift, each rise and fall of energy becomes a guide. When you trade with awareness of your body, everything changes. Impulses no longer drive decisions. Fear no longer masks as urgency. Anticipation no longer turns into reckless action. You trade with presence, you trade with clarity. Your body becomes the bridge between instinct and intellect, between emotion and action. Imagine the calm of knowing. Your hands may twitch, your heart may race, your brow may tighten, but none of it dictates your choice anymore. You see it, you name it, you allow it to inform you, and then you move. Decision arises naturally, consciously, intentionally. The market's chaos meets your presence, and instead of reacting, you respond. Here lies the final lesson. Mastery is embodied, not just intellectual. The body is not an obstacle, nor a distraction. It is the earliest and most honest source of information you have. Observing it, understanding it, integrating it, this is what separates reactive traders from conscious traders. And so, after the trade, after the screens fade to quiet, notice again. Feel the release of tension, the natural rhythm of your breath, the steadiness of your pulse, the ease in your posture. Let it settle in. These are not just sensations, they are confirmations, reminders that awareness, not reaction, is the ultimate edge. If you cannot feel your body, you cannot feel the market. Master one, and the other follows. Let this sink in. Trading is not just numbers and strategies. Trading is a conversation with yourself, with your body, with your presence. The charts will always change, the markets will always test you, but your embodied awareness, the bridge between body and mind, remains constant. And in that constancy lies true mastery. Appreciate your time here. These moments are for observing yourself, not the market. A like or subscribe is welcome if you feel it, but don't rush. Keep this awareness with you and let it guide your mind, your emotions, and your decisions.